Good evening, friends. Welcome to my channel ISPins. So let's start with the main topic for the day. We have covered topics from social justice and governance syllabus of IS mains. Under social justice, the topic of the news is covered, that is ALS patients and caregivers struggle with multiple issues related to disease. Under governance, there are three topics lined up. First is surveillance under MGNREGA governance. And for governance, there are two remaining topics. Second one is the gaps in births and deaths registration amendment act. Last one is word choice in data protection law, a dilution of rights. So starting with the first topic under social justice, that is ALS patients and caregivers struggle with multiple issues. Syllabus issues relating to development and management of social sector services like health, education, human resource, etc. Means analysis of the challenges in ALS diagnosis, the mental health impact on patients and caregivers, and the role of government policies in providing financial support. Under prelims, it can cover about amyotrophic lateral sclerosis ALS. Context: amyotrophic lateral sclerosis (ALS) inflicts several challenges in patients like Neeta Parekh, who communicate through blinking due to paralysis. Caregivers also bear immense physical and emotional burdens. Introduction: this ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, is a neurodegenerative disease affecting motor neurons controlling voluntary functions. Muscles depend on these neurons' atrophy, leading to loss of movement and function. ALS propagation and challenges. ALS affects motor neurons controlling respiratory muscles, impacting breathing. No effective cure. Best therapies involves drug and interventions to extend life. Survival time averages 3 years. Di- Disease progression varies in individuals. Diagnosis challenges. Onset to diagnosis taken 8 to 15 months on average due to absence of definite biomarkers. Motor cell failure detection requires in at least two regions of the body for ALS diagnosis. Diagnosis complexities leads to on agonizing wait for caregivers and patients. Impact on caregivers. Caregivers' lives drastically changes. They become primary support for PALS. Challenges include daily care, emotional stress, and altered routines. Devanushi Talsania quit her job to care for her mother full time. Mental health impact. High prevalence of depression among ALS patients affects quality of life and mobility. PLS loss independence, leading to social withdrawal and depression. Infrastructural inefficiencies. Infrastructural inefficiencies. Lack of wheelchair accessibility affects quality of life. Buildings and public spaces are often not wheelchair friendly. Financial demands. Medications, nurses, psychotherapy, and modifications cost significantly. Financial challenges and government policy. ALS imposes substantial financial burdens on patients and caregivers. National Policy for Rare Disease (NPRD 2021) offers financial assistance for rare diseases. ALS qualifies as a rare disease as per global epidemiological study, but classification criteria vary. Conclusion: ALS patient struggles encompass physical, emotional, and financial challenges. Caregivers face significant lifestyle changes and mental health impact. Government policies like NPRD offer some relief, but criteria for rare disease classification need clarity. Nut graft, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, facilitates patients like Nita Parekh causing paralysis and communication through blinking. Caregivers face life-altering adjustments, emotional stress, and financial strains. Topic for governance is surveillance under MNREGA. This is first topic under governance. Increasing its surveillance of workshops under the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme MNREGA. The Union Ministry of Rural Development will be pressing drones into service to monitor both the progress and quality of assets produced. The drones will be used for four types of monitoring: surveying the ongoing works, inspecting the completed works, impact assessment, and special inspection of cases of complaints. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act (MNREGA), also known as Mahatma Gandhi NREGA scheme, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, is Indian legislation enacted on August 25, 2005. The MNREGA provides a legal guarantee for 100 days of employment in every financial year to adult members of any rural household willing to do public work related unskilled manual work at the statutory minimum wage. The unemployment will be provided within a radius of 5 km. If it is above 5 km, extra wages will be paid. For under governance, there is second topic, that is gaps in births and deaths registration amendment act. It is covered under the syllabus government policies and interventions for development in various sectors and issues arising out of their design and implementation. For means, syllabus is covered provisions of registration of births and deaths amendment act 2023 and how will it improve service delivery. Context: the Registration of Births and Deaths Act 1969 is amended through the Registration of Births and Deaths Amendment Act 2023 to enhance data management, service efficiency, and transparency. Introduction: the existing Registration of Births and Deaths (RBD) Act of 1969 is undergoing an overhaul through the Registration of Births and Deaths Amendment Act Bill 2023, recently approved by Parliament and the President of India. The amendment seeks to address the limitations of the original legislation. Lacuna in the Act: Aadhaar number for births and deaths. The amendment bill requires the Aadhaar number for of patients during birth registration, yet remains silent on collecting Aadhaar numbers for deceased individuals. This omission impedes the comprehensive updating of databases and transparent public service delivery. Central and state databases. Although the Amendment Act reinforces the roles of Registrar General and State Chief Registrars, the necessity of a national level database is questioned. The potential to transmit data directly from state level databases to other systems could render a separate national database redundant. Cause of death certification. The Amendment Act mandates cause of death certification for medical institution deaths. However, challenges arise due to uncertain diagnosis, differences in alternative medicine systems, and unavailability of practitioners during non medical deaths. Positive expected outcome. Efficient public service delivery. The Amendment Act's central and state level databases aim to enhance service provision efficiency, expected to facilitate updates to various critical systems including Aadhaar, electoral rolls, etc. The streamlined birth and death registration. Central and state level databases reduce redundancy and enhance coordination in data management. Anticipated streamlined issuance of birth and death certificates, enhanced data sharing. The Amendment Act enables more efficient data flow to systems like Aadhaar, electoral rolls, etc., holds the potential to significantly improve public service delivery and data accuracy. Timely certificates in tragedy. Proposed presumed that provision could expedite death certificates for families affected by natural disasters or accidents. A compassionate approach to alleviate the distress of waiting for extended periods. Recognize proof documents. The Amendment Act acknowledges birth certificates as valid proof for various purposes. This provision although not requiring an amendment to the Act itself, underscores the potential for more efficient service delivery through rule changes or executive orders. Not graft. The Registration of Births and Deaths Act 1969 is undergoing transformation via the Registration of Births and Deaths Amendment Act 2023. While it addresses limitations and streamliness, data management concerns arise over potential misuse, parliamentary oversight, and challenges in accurately recording causes of death, posing question about practical implementation and outcomes. Third topic under governance is word choice in data protection law or dilution of rights. Syllabus governance, e-governance means provisions of Data Protection Act and debate between the right to privacy and state limit to surveillance. Context: India's Data Protection Act 2023 raises concerns: weak consent standards, convenience over necessity, erosion of rights, and multipurpose data use. Introduction: India's long awaited data protection law, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, has been finalized. While progress is better than inaction, a critical analysis is needed to gauge its impact on privacy rights. The effectiveness of the law hangs on two fundamental aspects: consent based and non consent based use of personal data, standard situations, and concerns. Consent conundrum. The core challenge in data protection is defining the consent standard. Do individuals truly have a say on how their data is used? For instance, online behavior might be scrutinized for personal proofing. Provisions in the Act. The law introduces provisions requiring informed consent through explicit positive actions. However, these provisions are weakened by a clause permitting data use if individuals haven't explicitly refused consent. This phrasing implies that non indication of refusal equates to consent, fostering ambiguity and confusion. The vague language raises concern about interpreting consent standards, leading to legal confusion and business uncertainty. The weaker provision could potentially overshadow the stronger one, balancing convenience and necessity. Navigating public functions. The law acknowledges the strict consent might hinder certain public functions like identity verification or welfare distribution. Previous drafts versus new law. Earlier drafts emphasized data use without consent only if necessary for special state functions. The new law alters this criterion, permitting data processing if it is so for certain legitimate uses, not a strictly required necessity. Impact on privacy. This subtle wording shift significantly impacts the level of privacy protection by allowing convenience driven data processing rather than necessitated use. Rights erosion and the lack of control. Notification correction rights. When data is used without consent, individuals remain uninformed and lack the data to rectify incorrect or unnecessary data. The inability to correct or erase non consensual data undermines informational privacy principles. Data multipurpose use. The law allows data collected for one non consensual purpose to be freely used for other purposes. This contradicts established principles like necessity and purpose limits limit, limitation upheld by the Indian Supreme Court. Broader concerns and conclusion. Deeper concerns. Critics highlights concerns about the law's impact on rights to information, free speech, surveillance reform, and regulatory structure. Policy choices over legalities. While some might view the issues discussed as mere legal details, they represent deliberate policy choices that erode potential privacy rights, enhancing data protection. To ensure the data protection law effectively safeguards personal information, addressing these flaws and ambiguities become imperative. Not graft. Data Protection Act 2023 through its word choices and provisions introduces ambiguities and could undermine privacy rights. Balancing convenience with necessary notification rights and data multipurpose use raise concerns about its effectiveness. It's crucial to address these issues to create a more robust and meaningful data protection framework. For today, UPSC means practice questions are two. First one is Provisions of Birth and Death Registration Amendment Act leave more questions than answers. Do you agree? Examine and you have to answer within 250 words. It is a 15 mark question under GS paper 2 polity and governance section of mains. So write down your answer in the comment section below. Second question for the day is elaborate on the key provisions of national policy or rare disease of the government of India. Is there a need to tweak the policy to make it more inclusive? You have to write the answer in 250 words. It is a 15 mark question from GS paper 2 under the section governance and social justice of main syllabus, and you have to answer in the comment section below. Thank you.